Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another awesome episode of The Devil's Due. I am your host, Carl Duty. Court is now in session. With me, as always, is the man who is the only man who knows what was truly going through Winona Ryder's head during the acceptance speech at the SAG Awards, Mr. Drew Celestino.
She's still after my own heart all these years later, man. That was fantastic.
That was the memes that have been made.
I will not deny I'm still a sucker for Winona Ryder.
She's great, but wow.
Man, if you're at an award show, why not imbibe? So,
sure.
What could go wrong?
Sure, I'm sure all she did was imbibe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
yeah.
It was only alcohol.
Sure.
All right. How you doing,
look,
sir?
as long as she didn't steal anything off the table.
No judgment here. We love Winona. Can't wait for Stranger Things Season 2.
Sure. Hey, wait. Maybe she was just, in character on stage.
It's very possible.
See?
Boning up for next season.
Going method on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here we are again. Right, we're coming quickly to the end of Luke Cage.
2 to go, including this one.
Yeah, counting this one, 2 to go, and then right into Daredevil Season 2.
Yes.
Such excites.
Very excites.
But before we get to all that, how was your week, sir?
Week was okay. Let's see. Awkward game night on Friday.
Wow, you're just throwing it out there.
Well, I mean, Jen had to leave to go rescue a dog, unfortunately, and then Justin had to leave, and it was weird because Justin's mother passed away that week.
Yeah.
So just an unfortunate series of events, and then we kind of had an abridged game night. A little bit abridged.
Yeah, a little bit. A bunch of quickies.
Saturday, we went to the comic store, the Big Bad Comic Store.
Yeah, we all, me, you, and Alan.
Big Mamma Jamma.
All went to Dave and Adam's.
Very big.
Yes.
Sports stuff and comic stuff and then video game stuff and board game stuff. I didn't know they did all that.
Yeah, they're
impressive.
Kind of the one-stop shop for sports and geek stuff. They're my comic shop. I go there because Virginia's there, and she's always eager to help out and do the best she can. She organizes a lot of the stuff over there, and they've definitely stepped up their geek game. As
big time.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of that place.
Are they still giving out our Devil's Due flyers in the bags?
They had one up.
Yeah.
It's no longer up.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you are pseudo-ly affiliated with competition, so that the management might have gotten wind to that.
Oh.
I don't. She didn't say anything to me. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying if I had to.
Interesting.
Either that or someone was just like, okay, they're not paying us anything for this, so let's take it down.
I would guess that's more likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, she's eager to help out wherever she can. I'm sure we'll have her on the show one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Twas.
You enjoyed the place?
It was interesting.
It's a lot to take in for first
It's a lot to take in. And then I kind of thought, like, wow, this is what our hobby has become, in a way. Two of my hobbies, in fact.
Yeah.
Video games and comics. It's weird, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I heard an interesting analogy on another podcast. Remember, like, back in the 80s?
Remember the
80s? Remember back in the 80s where, like, a lot of stuff was, like, not just geek stuff, but, like, all sorts of pop culture stuff was kind of promoted using...
Toys?
Not toys, but, like, 50s nostalgia.
Yes.
Doo-wop.
Yes.
Music, things like that.
Things are cyclical. In the 90s...
I think you find that because the people who were kids during that era, that 50s era, had grown up and become the bosses of these big companies.
Right.
Creative directors and whatnot. I think now this geek golden age that I would say has been going on since 2008. I think Iron Man was the genesis of it.
Sort of.
Mainstream geek golden age.
That's fair.
I think a lot of it's also because we've got a lot of the people who grew up like 80s, 90s.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah,
and they're calling the shots now. And
they've
that's
got
why we're
disposable
seeing-
income, and that's why
Exactly.
Super Nintendo cartridges right now are way too expensive. All I want to do is collect, man. Now I'm up against kids with pockets.
Yeah. So, but I think that's cool. But yeah, David Adams, fun place.
Very impressive.
I was surprised you were kind of dismissive of the G.I. Joe section, the case. You were kind of like, eh.
No, I'm still a Joe fanatic in that I know a lot about it, but I've kind of moved on to a degree from
Okay.
G.I. Joe. I think ultimately something that struck me being in the store and seeing all of the bigness of of comics as pop culture and video games as pop culture, I was kind of like reflective in a way, like, look how much crap you can buy with stuff we like on it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt weird about the stuff I like. I wasn't sure how to feel about it anymore. And I have there's a larger point to be made actually about that. And I've been reflecting on this a bit recently when it comes to even Star Wars, but like Batman and other pop cultural entities, and my thoughts on what they are and what they represent now. And I don't know, I'm getting a little cynical is not the right word, but I'm kind of seeing through things now, and I'm not liking what's on the other side.
See, I think you're being a little too critical of it.
Oh, no.
I think you've kind of forgotten the time where we couldn't get any of this stuff.
I know that, but
I think it's just there's a lot of stuff to worry about in this world right now.
this is a big discussion. Trust me.
I think for stuff like this, you just kind of have to sit back and enjoy the fact that if you want to get a T-shirt with the 1966 Batman Adam West in, beach shorts with a surfboard from that one episode, you can go out and do it. Just enjoy it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it, but enjoy the fact that you have the option to pretty much, if you want to acquire product from almost any license that we've ever enjoyed, it's readily available.
Yeah,
to you.
I know. But ultimately, it comes back to why do I like the things I like, and what are they? And I'm starting to realize that the things I like aren't really what they used to be. Now they're just excuses to make stuff and sell it. And I think that's what hit me pretty hard.
Things change, things evolve. I mean,
well, I'm painting a lot of broad strokes. Some things are more guilty than others, but like Star Wars has been accused of this for years, decades even. Like,
Star Wars is the one that started it all.
Sure, totally. And I think, Disney is doing, they're still exploiting to the fullest extent of the law.
They did pay $4 billion.
Exactly, and they're going to make all that money back.
So
but I mean, I think in their case, though, they're taking care to make the there's a core product that has to be good and worth caring about, and that is the movies. And they've done a good job of making
they're 2 for 2.
Right. They've done a good job of keeping that core and then building the empire around it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting into this bigger picture, I guess. We're here now. Then I get into something like Batman. Batman, I don't know what Batman is anymore. Let me explain. Star Wars, despite having this massive merchandising empire, no pun intended, like I said, it has a core. The core of the movies, and the movies are good and worth investing in, and I can care about them. I know the canon. It's a thing. I can distill it. This is Star Wars. I can point to it. Batman and Warner Brothers, who owns him,
AT&T owns Batman.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, AT&T, who owns Batman. Wow, think about that for a moment. I don't know what Batman is. Is Batman a comic book? Is Batman a video game series? Is Batman a movie? Is Batman a cartoon? Is Batman a toy line? Is Batman, a fruit snack? I don't know, because he's in all of these things, and canon is fast and loose now, and ultimately I don't know anymore, because all I see now is an excuse for them to use Batman and the awareness of him to make all of those things, and none of them are the core of the character anymore. It's just this thing. It's just Batman. But Batman doesn't really mean anything anymore. It's just a license to put a Bat logo on it and sell it to you. And I think that's where I'm like having a hard time. And it's not just Batman. I'm using Batman as an example. Marvel's teetering close on this too. Again, fortunately, the core product, the films, are still good. But it's a fine line. And I think some franchises do it better than others, where you know what the core is. And I don't know, in the case of like Batman and other stuff, when I was presented with all the merchandise blitz in one place at the shop, man, it had me kind of taken aback as to like I'm being sold things and I don't know if they matter.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
And I can extend this to wrestling too, by the way.
Yeah, it's anytime something
Huey's going to have a take on this too.
Anytime something is successful, it grows. I definitely get what you're saying with Batman. I think Batman and the rest of DC is just incredibly mismanaged. And we'll be getting into that in news too.
Okay.
I think there is still meaning to Batman. I think you just have to dig deeper to find it. I think Batman is more relevant today than he's ever been.
Sure,
I mean,
I don't dispute that.
Especially considering our current political reality. You think back to like The Dark Knight Returns, you're like, that's the Batman I want right now. So I think Batman will never not be relevant. He is. I mean,
he's omnipresent.
Yeah, I mean the arguments there between him and Spider-Man for who is the most popular superhero right now.
Oh, it's Batman.
Yeah, it's probably Batman.
But I mean,
but I think again, it's just there's extra layers of fluff there that, you know, my wife gave William a bath a couple weeks ago with a Batman bubble bath that someone gave us. So I get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying. I still think there's relevance there. You just have to dig deeper to find it. I think the main problem is that if the layperson wants to find the relevance, there's no like real source that they can go to find.
It's lost.
Yeah. So unless they know someone like, you know, yourself or myself who can kind of guide them where to go.
They're going to watch Gotham, and that's Batman.
Yeah, I get that. No, I totally get what you're saying.
And ultimately, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
It's so fluid. It just doesn't, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I like it when it matters.
No, I get what you're saying.
I can extend this to wrestling, too, by the way. I'll tell you when it solidified it for me, too. It's been solidifying for a while. So real quick, Saturday, I'll get to the week, and we're gonna bring this all home. On Saturday, I went to after we had our little adventure, I went to Jay Gelchimino's house.
Jay,
and we watched NXT Takeover. Fun show. Yeah, it was a fun show. It's a fun wrestling show. NXT is usually superior to the main WWE product in every way because it caters to hardcore fans, generally speaking.
Why don't they just put the E in there? Just call it Next.
I don't know. Wrestling fans love abbreviations. They love WWE, WCW, ECW, and NXT.
It's one thing if like it was called Mississippi and you called it MSP.
I know.
Put that on a belt.
I know.
We're talking about one letter here.
I know, but
all right, I'm just saying.
NXT's fun to say.
Continue.
So Shinsuke lost. Has a sad.
Lost the belt.
Lost the belt
to
Bobby Roode, the glorious Bobby Roode. To be fair,
I don't like that.
I know, but that's okay because now Shinsuke. There's two things that could happen. Either one, Shinsuke has a clear door to ascend to the main roster.
Shinsuke,
possibly, or he will come back and become the first 3-time NXT champion. Never know.
What would you prefer?
I think I prefer.
You've expressed concern in the past when he steps up to the main roster, they're not going to handle him correctly.
We're going to get to my main point then, yeah, but about the main roster and why I'm concerned. So I think I'd rather see him stay in NXT for a little while, but at the same time, NXT's not quite. He's too big for NXT. That's kind of the problem. So Sunday we watched the Royal Rumble, the main WWE product, and the outcomes were largely eh.
You said you didn't win the Rumble.
I did not win the bet. I did not win the bet.
Did you come close at all?
No.
Who ended up winning
I came within a couple of minutes of having longest entrant with Sami Zayn, but Chris Jericho beat him by a couple minutes. It was close, though. Sami hung in there for a while.
Who ended up winning?
Randy Orton.
Okay, I'm familiar with.
It's odd. It's an odd choice.
With the memes.
It's a very odd choice. But he eliminated Roman Reigns, who came out disappointingly at number 30. Everyone was angry. Everyone. The fans were sick to see Roman come out and enter the Rumble after he just lost a match earlier in the night.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel bad for Roman Reigns.
I have no sympathy for the
as
man.
much as I
None.
don't watch wrestling and whatnot. All I know is everyone hates Roman Reigns.
Well, listen to his interviews and you'll find out why. Because not only is he forced on our throats, but he comes off very entitled when they ask him about it. So he's earned it. He's decent. I look, the guy's decent. He probably doesn't earn all the hate, but he's culpable for some of it.
Who are the surprise entrants?
None.
Really? No classic returning?
No. It was very sad.
That sucks.
They advertised the classic guys in advance. Taker, Brock, Goldberg. So it was a very disappointing Rumble in that regard.
Didn't you mention this was Undertaker's return?
He's been on TV a couple times prior to now, but he did not look good.
He's got to be getting old.
He is old, and he looked it this time. And it's starting to get to that point where we all love him, but really, buddy, it might be time. It really might be time to say enough. But so I've told you about my week to week struggle with like Monday Night Raw, and it's just a chore to watch that show. It's misery. And then I kind of it's been said about them for a while how it's just they got to fill 3 hours and yada yada. And I've said this about Marvel
We're talking
Comics.
about the Rumble, not Raw.
I'm talking about Raw, week to week programming, and largely long? Not even the Rumble was even longer. Raw is a 3-hour show.
Okay,
it's ungodly long. So I'm gonna bring this in with wrestling. I'm gonna bring this into comics. We've talked about Marvel and the product on the shelf and how it's just kind of eh. And this is my bigger point. I figured out wrestling too, and this is part of the same problem. The week to week show, even to a degree, these big events, WWE doesn't matter. It's very, very it's very rare nowadays that they put forth anything that I can care about at all. And all it is they're filling time with content. They're just filling time with content to get advertisers to print lunchboxes, to sell wrestling toys, which they're not even being like coy about now. They had a new toy with a little cage over the ring set, little play set. They had a shark cage match at the Rumble. They put Chris Jericho in a shark cage over the ring, so he couldn't interfere in a match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. And naturally, he threw down brass knuckles, because you got to cheat when you're up there. It's part of the. But the point is, they had a toy and they justified it by making it a match. Okay, so this stuff is just excuses to sell you other stuff. It's not what it was, where it was like it's always they always want to sell you something. They want to sell you a ticket to the show. They want to sell you a pay-per-view. Okay, but the product that I'm buying should be good. I should be invested in it. I should care about it. I've seen through the veil. The product is subpar, and everything else I know is more important now to them than the product, the investment, building the characters and their struggles and making me care about them. It's gone. It's gone. And the writing and the work shows it. And I've seen through the looking glass, man, and all I know now is that WWE exists to sell you toys, to sell you t-shirts and merchandise, and to cross-brand with other promotions and other entities that make them feel more legitimate, like ESPN and the Susan G. Komen cancer thing, and insert thing here that WWE feels gives them legitimacy, because their core product they feel is not legitimate. Whereas I, as a fan, would say, legitimize yourself. Put forth something great that people will care about, and people will come to you. Conversely, sticking with wrestling, think about Wrestle Kingdom 11. How invested were we for that main event?
That was the first wrestling thing I've watched in easily well over 15 years.
But did it feel like it mattered?
I was all in. I was watching, and that was due to the athletic performance that was on display.
And you know what NJPW does as a company? They sell wrestling.
Yeah.
They got merch, but their core product is come to an NJPW show. This is what we sell you. And everything matters.
I'm guessing WWE probably doesn't feel they have to do a lot of that because it's as far as like
they've conditioned an audience to just show
they're
up.
pretty much the only game in town.
Yep, basically that. But again, it's part of my overarching point where I what is this stuff? The things I cared about are no longer what they were, and now they're just kind of this bigger blob, and I don't know what I'm grabbing onto. I know I'm just being told to buy stuff with the name of the thing I like on it.
Yeah, I think everything that we're passionate about goes through transitions at one point or another. And different people react to different transitions in different ways, obviously. Like you're like just going back to the whole like geek explosion mainstream stuff, you're becoming wary of it, and I'm just at a point where I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can get this stuff if I want. If I don't want it, I don't have to buy it. So I think, again, I see you're making some valid points, but I think that, again, everything goes through transitions. Everything goes through evolutions or de-evolutions, if you will, and how you react to them is going to be different each time.
It's fair. It's fair. I just, I've been noticing this kind of stuff going on and all the stuff that I like, and it's like, man, I remember when it was just this, and we all loved it because it did something, had a purpose, and now it's like, yeah, now it's this whole other thing, and the thing that you loved, kind of forgettable.
Yeah, I think one thing that kind of contributes to it is that a lot of things that we've talked about, comic books, movies, wrestling, are creative endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
And creativity, those driving creativity change over time.
Sure.
Different ideas are put in, other ideas are taken out. So I think that definitely contributes to it, and we're just reacting to, like, we know what we liked, and we're not like, I love the time when there were 5 Spider-Man books going, and now there's 2.
Wow.
Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Dare I say that's an improvement in a way.
Yeah. There's 4 Spider-Man books going total, only 2 of which are Peter Parker Spider-Man. It used to be back in the day it was 5, all Peter Parker
that's
Spider-Man.
Too much.
See, but because I was a fan of it,
yeah.
and because I was younger and didn't have, still glossy-eyed youth,
yeah.
I still enjoyed it all.
There is a degree. I can see there's a degree of get off my lawn with my bigger point, but I don't know, man. I feel like the shameless kind of commodification of everything is detracting from what made stuff great. And I just want, give me a good story, give me something to invest in, and I'll invest. I'll readily give you my heart if you tell me something, a good story.
I think it also gives us more appreciation of the truly great when it comes along.
Yes, I hope so. Anyway, I hope I can open myself to that. Video games are sort of included too, man. Why do we need yearly iterations of all these sports games and shooters? Because product. Like, I don't know, man. I don't need that. Just give me a good game. That's why I have like Mountain Games More. My Mountain Games More is very exclusive.
Yeah, no, I get it. What I like Call of Duty to kind of go back to its roots and what it was, and not an every single year release. Of course I would.
Sure.
But there's other stuff out there. There's Titanfall 2, which is great.
There is. So, and I find the stuff I like, and I just try to enjoy it. Sorry to get off on a down note here, but that's you asked about the week, and it was kind of revelatory in that way, where it all kind of clicked for me with what all this stuff kind of is, and like, wow, okay, I'm enlightened now, or at least in my own way, I feel like I'm okay. Oh, I know, I'll be fine, but I just want to
next month. It'll be okay.
I just want to care. That's all. Yeah, that'll be exciting.
So anything else going on with the week?
After all that, no, not much else is going on. I'm over my cold, but dare I ask, sir, you sound a little...
Yeah, I do.
Sorry about that, man. If it's any consolation, I got it from someone in the office. The entire office has gone through it. I have now given it to you. I apologize.
dick.
But you should be getting over it quickly. It doesn't
it's
last
not,
too long.
It's not very bad at all.
Okay.
I'm just a little wary of being around William Whatnot. Don't want him to get, but kind of wouldn't mind if he got, because you got to build up those.
Got to build it up, man.
Whatnot, so, my week.
Yes.
My week was ironic. The yellow brick road of depression and disgust that you just brought us down. My week.
my job.
My week was actually very retro as well, because was it 2 weeks ago Friday? It wasn't last week Friday, so it must have been. Yeah, it was the Friday before that. Voltron season 2 dropped on Netflix. And I devoured that.
I've been meaning to get into season 1 based on your praise, so I got to make some time.
It is rare. Now, granted, I enjoyed Voltron as a kid. Mm-hmm. It wasn't my main thing. We
all liked it, though. It was a cool concept.
I never had, one complete set of lions.
No one did.
I always had, because there were, 3 or 4 different versions of Voltron you could get.
Actually, can't. Pause for a moment. I'm shocked that you didn't have, you of all kids did not have a complete Voltron.
I know.
Okay.
But again, remember, it wasn't wasn't up there.
Yeah.
But, maybe it could squeeze in the top 10.
Okay.
I would have 2 lions from the set that you put the action figures in, mm-hmm. and one of the metal lions, the legit ones. Actually, no, wait, I did have a complete Voltron, but it was a very small one. It was kind of like the lions, they had those motors in them, the old cars where you pull them back and let them go.
Yeah, that's not the legit transforming one.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it wasn't that. So I liked Voltron, but again, it wasn't one of my main things. I did watch the show. And go back and watch the show now. I'm sure it's okay, but there's those problems and those critiques about every fight at the end is just simply Voltron gets beat up by the monster, forms the blazing sword, slice the monster in half.
Yeah.
Episode's done.
It was a format so good that Power Rangers would shamelessly rip it off for years after that.
It is rare when a reboot of something you enjoyed as a kid or just something you enjoyed in general is superior to the original.
This is?
This is.
Great. That's great.
Every way. A lot of ways, when I first heard they were doing it, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. This will probably fall along the lines of Bayformers and whatnot. And then you saw the redesign of Voltron itself. And I'm like, okay, wow, they did a really good redesign. It's much more curved and streamlined, but still looks
you recognize
like
him.
Voltron.
Right.
The story in this is incredibly deep, and you care about the characters, and it's just so well done. The animation, they've added powers to the lions that are really cool. Role-playing game level up powers and whatnot.
Okay.
And they don't, the first 3 episodes of the first season, they're just trying to learn how to form Voltron.
Oh, so they're not established.
Yeah, no, this is the beginning.
The origin of Voltron.
Yeah,
cool.
And some of the scenes that they use when they're trying to learn how to form Voltron are hysterical. They're like, well, maybe let's try this. And the lions are all standing on top of each other in a pyramid. They're like, is this working? No.
Don't they have a teacher of some kind?
No, they don't. Because remember, Voltron's been lost for generations.
Oh.
So no, they know of Voltron, but they and they're learning, they're developing their bond with their lions throughout the series.
I see.
So seriously,
interesting.
Dude, get on this.
I will have to make some time and watch some Voltron.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So there was that. There, like you mentioned, Friday night, the game night, and Saturday we went to the shop. Today being Tuesday, part 2 of the little retro trip, Double Dragon 4 came out today.
Ah.
And I purchased it before I came over here and
Okay.
played for about 5-10 minutes.
How is it?
It's Nintendo Double Dragon, sir.
Okay.
A brand new Double Dragon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to devouring that.
Cool.
Nintendo graphics, mind you, not
Yeah.
arcade graphics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was really cool.
excellent.
So yeah, that was my week. Dear listeners,
Boom.
if you would like to tell us about your weeks, if you'd like to send us any questions, if you'd like to send us any comments, communicate with us in any way, you can do so at the following locations. On Twitter, you can follow us at Devils Do Pod. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/devilsdopod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com. And you can find all this great material at our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. That being said, as previously mentioned, Mr. Gelsomino has sent questions.
Well.
Yep. He leads with Drew and Carl, can you possibly forgive me for missing questions last week?
I can make an effort to forgive.
I'll work on forgiving him. He's the one keeping this segment alive, man. Got to keep up with your responsibilities. Okay, just kidding. We love you, Jay. All right, first combined question: if you can take any entertainment property and enter 30 characters into a Royal Rumble, what would it be, and who would come out on top?
Whoa! Any entertainment property?
Yeah. So he's not saying you can mix and match.
Yeah, pick one, put him in, and have a rumble. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I mean, this lends itself to comic book universes, and that gets a little dicey because Superman would always win basically in the DC universe, essentially. Mano a mano in a 30-man rumble. Marvel might be a little dicier. That might get tight. I don't know who would come out on top in the Marvel universe. They don't quite have the Omni-Lord hero. They're a little more, they spread it out a little bit. So, but those are the easy choices, I think. Maybe if we pulled it back and let's do the G.I. Joe Rumble.
G.I. Joe Rumble?
Let's pick out 30 characters from G.I. Joe.
15 Joes, 15 Cobras?
15 Joes, 15 Cobras. Throw them in the ring. See what we get.
You know what you do? You do like they did in the One Royal Rumble, where Axe and Smash were entrants 1 and 2. Tomax and Zaymon.
See?
Entrants 1 and 2.
This is why the Rumble's great, because sometimes allies got to go. They got to fight each other. Yeah. So, Zaymon, Tomax, Cobra Commander, Destro, all your heavy hitters. Hawk, Duke, Snake Eyes. So the thing is, that's the problem. Snake Eyes is walking out of this thing the winner. Almost for sure.
I don't know. I might put my money on either Roadblock or Gun-Ho.
See, they bring the beef, but the beef doesn't always win. This makes a good Rumble. Yeah, G.I. Joe Rumble.
Okay. I would probably go Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Rumble
would make for an interesting Rumble.
Out of all the sports games they've ever done with Mario, they haven't done like a wrestling game.
No.
And they have Smash Brothers, which I guess kind of.
Yeah.
But wow, wrestling game would be fun though.
Yeah. I would have to give it to Waluigi.
Any reason why?
He's deceptively clever.
Is he though?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And he's been rookieing in the New Japan Pro Wrestling League.
Oh, now you're just inventing canon here, but okay, sure.
That's what we do.
All right.
Okay, Drew.
Yes.
If you could go to a different podcast with one person while still staying with Carl on this show, obviously, whose show would it be?
Obviously, it would be the wrestling podcast with Jay Gelsomino.
See, he was just fish baiting you.
He was fish baiting me.
So is this the thing? Is this happening?
We've talked about it. Time is a factor, Lois. Our hearts are willing. It's time and format and
spirit is willing, but flesh is weak and soggy.
Kind of like that. But it would bring warm fuzzies to my cold, cynical heart to be doing a podcast with Jay Gelsomino again. So.
All
right. Carl.
Yes.
Wow, I get this little itty bitty thing. You get a paragraph.
Well, yeah.
Rank them in order of best to worst for what you do for $1 million. Okay. 12 hours under one of Jabba's fat rolls in a Buick Regal in Arizona with the windows up. 7 hours.
Well, that's clearly worse because I would die.
Hang on. 7 hours stuck on a tarmac, sitting next to the toxic Avenger, who's eating Thai food. Coach, not business class, middle seat, not an emergency exit row. Some caveats there. Okay, or a semester abroad in North Korea learning anatomy with Rob Liefeld. Why would he go to North Korea?
Why not?
Okay.
They would probably be best Liefeld. Second, the worst would be Jabba, because I would clearly die, and then Toxic Avenger in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, all right. Those are our questions. Yay. Thank you, Jay.
Yay.
We appreciate it.
A-Dub?
No, nothing from Alan.
Alan.
That's okay. Folks,
Shot across the bow here.
you can send us in questions. It doesn't have to be Jay and Alan. Don't feel intimidated.
Don't be intimidated.
by Jay and Alan.
Absolutely not.
Send us questions.
Dethrone
send us
them.
please.
Yes.
We appreciate interacting.
And as you found out a couple episodes ago, you can end up on the show
With prizes.
with prizes.
Legitimate prizes.
Some of that aforementioned crap I talked about earlier.
There you go. Okay, so the cross-examination is closed. We have to open the case files now because there is some news to go over.
Okay.
Drew, can you do me a favor?
Oh.
Can you put on your surprised face for me, please?
Depends.
Just go ahead and fasten it on now because you're gonna need it. First up in the cross-examination,
I'm not sure how I should react. Okay.
the Flash movie,
Go on.
which has been a staple here in the news.
Go on.
Never for anything good, is going back to a page one rewrite.
Carl,
This is never a good sign for.
you wanted my surprise face?
Okay.
Look at me right now.
There is no expression on your face. It's just kind of
Because
yeah, it's the only rumored reason that I've heard that the reason they're doing this is that a lot of what they wanted to do in the movie has already been done much better on the television show.
it's oh my god, this company does not see. Right hand doesn't know what left hand is doing.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
See,
With Marvel,
Yes. Sorry.
right hand knows what the left hand is doing,
Yep.
and they may not be holding hands necessarily.
No, but they're aware.
For crying out loud, I was catching up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and a Judas bullet showed up on Agents of
Hey,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
look at that.
They didn't, and they did it in a really cool way. They just fired it off, and it did what it does, and no one said anything about it.
Nah.
You could just, if you watched
If you
Luke
watched
Cage,
it, you know.
knew that was a Judas bullet.
Remember what I said about Disney and Star Wars and Marvel and all that? And why they're kind of bucking the trend. I mean, they're guilty, but they're bucking the trend because they have people in charge of those properties that are in charge of caring for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's also that you just look at who owns who.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
AT&T.
Even before Disney bought Marvel, when Marvel Studios was a thing.
It was around the same time, was it not?
No, it was because Disney just bought Marvel, I think, 2014?
No.
14 or 13?
No.
But it was.
They
were at least in the phase 2 of the cinematic universe when the purchase was made. So Marvel Studios was already established. They were doing their own thing. They knew they were going to be faithful as much as they could be.
2009.
Okay, but still, like they knew they were going to be faithful. Disney bought them and said, "Okay, just keep doing what you're doing."
Yes, this is
not going to get any interference.
They were
from
already
us.
successful.
We're just
The
gonna
plan
cash
was
the
already.
checks.
Yeah.
DC is owned by a movie company. They have not established their own studio.
Right.
So
you'd think that would make it easier, though. Like,
of course,
we have the movie studio, but that movie studio doesn't understand. They just don't understand.
They just don't get it.
They just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's the simplest way to put it. Hey, you'd think with their boy Jeff Johns in there and his VP whatever role, he would exercise some autonomy here.
Well, just give Jeff some time. He just recently took that role.
How much time does this dude need?
Listen, Wonder Woman. I know we're hearing rumors about Wonder Woman.
Cash those checks,
Wonder
Jeff.
Woman will be
Cash
the
those
test.
checks, buddy.
I
would too. I would too.
To piggyback on this.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Announced yesterday, Ben Affleck steps down as director of Batman.
How do you like that?
Wow, that must be one hot garbage of a script.
Well, he had a hand in writing it. So why? What's the deal?
You know what it probably is? Because he's got somewhat background in comics.
Yeah.
Like before fame and everything. You know what it probably is? Is like him and Jeff Johns and whoever was doing it probably put out a Dynamite script and the execs were like, no, you got to do this. This is more marketable. You got to keep it this way.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's probably too much meddling, and he probably has an opt-out clause in his contract.
Well,
The question now is, does the opt-out clause, if there is one, does it also pertain to playing Batman?
now
as
I've
well?
seen this rumor kind of bubbling today. So he's stepping down from directing. Now, obviously, he's still attached to star. For how long?
Yeah.
At what point, if things are that weird and tenuous, would he just be like, you know what, I'm
Yeah.
good?
If he steps down as star, I think you release Wonder Woman, you release Justice League, because they're both already shot.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of do the old blackjack dealer leaving the table thing. Just let those stand as they are, and
So if they lose, okay, let's take it a
just
step further.
kind of put it on the shelf for minimum 5 years.
I was just okay. So you're saying
minimum 5 years.
if Affleck goes away, it's over.
Yeah, you just cash in your chips. The chips being
DC
Wonder Woman and
expanded or
Justice League.
whatever they call the universe. It's done.
Yep, just because that's
He is the Robert Downey anchor of that whole universe, and that universe is not that big anyway.
yeah. The
So if
universe
he were to walk,
is 2 movies old, 3
Yeah.
movies old.
yeah. So if he walked, that would be pretty huge.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be a killing blow in a way.
I think that's pretty much what it is, because at that point, you've got to recast him. You've got to cast another director. You're pretty much where you are with Flash.
Which is nowhere.
That you're going, but
Which is nowhere.
You're nowhere. Oh, man.
This
That's
company.
just-
This company.
See, you know what? I said they probably should have launched the whole thing with Wonder Woman. Do what Marvel did.
Chronologically, it
Take
makes sense.
Take the character who is in the public eye, but not one of your headliners.
Yeah,
Start with that.
sure. Plant your seeds with that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, they wanted to catch up in one
Yeah.
shot, and that was their problem. So yeah, who knows what will happen next? I mean,
The saga of DC films, man.
We know we're going to get Wonder Woman. We know we're going to get Justice League. Beyond that, yeah, I don't. And it's like we said before, we want these movies to be good.
I would love for them to be good. I would. You accuse me all day about DC, but dude, I would love nothing more than for those movies to be good and entertaining, and to be really go toe to toe with Marvel. It would be fun.
I think you legitimately enjoy the characters. You just hate DC itself.
The company's a clown show, and that
Not
you know what I
much.
mean. It's just it irks me. It's like this should be better. So let's bring it back to wrestling. WWE. I love many guys on that roster. I do. But I hate the company. I hate the company. DC, I love Superman. I am in Batman, but I respect Batman at least. I like all this stuff. I want to see it flourish and be fun.
Yeah.
And it's not. And
think-
it should be, but it's not.
I think your opinion on Batman is dictated more on what he's become than what he is.
Probably. That's probably fair.
Because I've heard you talk about like good Batman in the past, and like
Yeah. Again, my heart for a good story.
you'll jump into a Grant Morrison Batman story without giving a second thought.
Even that. I mean, it's like he at least he had a point and he had a goal and he made it a thing, and
Return of Bruce Wayne was a hot mess.
that was kind of cool actually. It was so good. Marvel ripped it off for Captain America. They did.
They
did.
You're not getting any denial from me on that, because both stories were pretty much happening at the same time.
Oh man. Anyway,
okay, so
let's move on.
Moving out
I'm
of the car, train wreck, tire fire that is the DC Cinematic Universe, and back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
Two characters who you normally don't think of, but when you hear about them, you're like, yeah, that'd be a cool series. Cloak and Dagger
Interesting.
have a television series.
This has been in development for a long time.
Yes, and now they have a Cloak and Dagger.
For real.
They have been cast.
Interesting.
It is relative. They're young, which is good because Cloak and Dagger are young.
They're young.
Aubrey Joseph of The Night of and Run All Night.
Who's who?
And Olivia Holt.
You could have just made that stuff up, and I wouldn't know what you were talking about. So that's okay. Cool.
So, yeah, they are your Cloak and Dagger.
Oh, okay. I see what they did there.
They're basically more or less Disney Channel stars and whatnot. Go figure.
All right.
But they're what they need to be. They're young. I'm not sure.
What channel will this show be on?
I don't know.
Is it going to be a Disney show or like ABC or what?
I thought I heard somewhere that it was like a Hulu exclusive. It's not a Netflix show. It's not a movie, which is too bad because they would fit in very well in the Netflix universe.
Netflix universe is rich, and that would be kind of cool.
Let me see if I can't look up here.
Maybe we should give some background on Cloak and Dagger if we can. They're kind of hard to explain. Kind of.
One dude wears a cloak.
He can teleport in it,
and the chick throws daggers.
That's underselling it. They're a little weirder than that, but yeah.
Underselling. Let's see here. We are accessing the internets as we speak. I'm not seeing anything about a channel. And this is for making for great radio.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
If I had to guess, it would be ABC. But if it's going to be some kind of weird online thing, that's interesting.
I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, it's not ABC. It doesn't. If I remember correctly, it's not too mainstream. Dear listener, if you know the answer, by all means,
please tell us.
Tweet us, message us,
suck.
just let us know.
Here's information. I googled it in 3 seconds.
So yeah,
what else you got?
That's news.
That's it.
That's what we got.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought there was more.
DC still a dumpster fire, and Marvel's still turning out some good stuff.
For now,
I'm interested to see what Cloak and Dagger will bring.
As we're seeing the casting calls daily on Infinity War that they're filming right now, it's basically becoming a matter of not who is in the movie, but who is not.
Yeah,
so at this point, I would say just assume everyone who's ever been in a Marvel movie will be in Infinity War.
Yeah,
that's a safe assumption at this point.
And I'm okay with that.
That's
if it was,
you got to do it.
If it was just one movie, I would be like, a little overstuffing, but it's 2 movies, so.
Well, no, not really.
That's going to be 2 movies.
Yeah, but they didn't say it's part 1 and part 2. They said the first one is called Infinity War, and the second one is not Infinity War part 2. Well, so I don't know what they're doing exactly.
Phase 4 will just be one long Infinity Gauntlet story.
Shrugs?
Sure.
Go for it, Marvel.
They like I said, they've got a good credit report, so
spend.
Got no reason to distrust them. All right.
Okay.
Let us get to the rustling of the papers.
Okay.
All right.
Episode 12 of Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, episode 12, Soliloquy of Chaos.
Lot going on here.
Yes, I equate this episode to positioning of your chess pieces for your final play.
Okay, that's thematically accurate and thematically accurate.
That little scene with Bobby Fish in there kind of made me think of that. I was like, that's kind of what this episode is. This is
get everybody into
the show, putting everyone into place for the grand finale.
Okay.
And we see at the beginning, Cage is caged.
Cage is caged.
See what I did there?
I do. And then Misty kind of calls him out, but she's kind of helping him.
Yeah, she's doing that fake "I hate you, but here's vital information that you need" thing.
Yeah.
I want to mention the problem I have with this episode,
Go on.
particularly with Misty.
Okay.
You have a gunshot wound
Yeah.
that nicked an artery,
Yeah.
and you never go to the hospital.
I think she went, but then she immediately went right back to the station.
That's not how gunshot wounds work.
No, not at all.
Now, granted, I've never been shot, and I hope that stays the case for the rest of my life.
Yes.
That being said, I don't think I'm a complete imbecile as to the medical workings. I understand that a gunshot wound takes some time to heal.
Yeah. It was her artery was patched with dental floss.
Yes.
You know,
Granted, we're not knocking Claire's ability here.
no. But yeah, she basically goes from, and not only that, she went from bleeding out, turning pale, I'm gonna die, to on her feet, up and at him, back to work.
Yeah.
In like a scene.
Up and at them.
Right.
A Reservoir Dogs amount of blood was lost.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's a very, very fair criticism.
That's really my only problem with this episode.
Did you catch the 7 reference in this episode?
Funny story.
Yeah?
I have only seen the last 10 minutes of 7. Oh. I was flipping through.
Okay.
I was flipping through the channels one day, came across 7 before the days of, interactive guides and whatnot, so I didn't know how long was left in it. And
Caught the end.
yeah.
Okay.
So I know what's in the box.
It's a great movie. I recommend watching the whole thing. The ending is obviously insane.
Yeah.
There's a part where they're referencing the big crate that Diamondback has, and Zip asks him what's in. First off, he says, "What's in the box?"
What's in the box? I did catch that.
And then Diamondback responds, "One of the 7 deadly sins." And Zip says, "Which one?" And Diamondback replies, "Wrath," which is also the 7th or the deadly sin that Brad Pitt commits when he kills. Spoilers: Kevin Spacey at the end of 7.
So that
Cute,
is, they use that crate to make 2 movie references.
Well, it's mostly one.
Well, no, there's a second movie reference towards the end of the episode. And sir,
What did I
if
miss?
you did not pick up on it, I'm ashamed of you.
What did I miss?
He opens the crate, and there's an orange glow coming out
it's
from
more
it.
red, but okay, yeah. So they get their Pulp Fiction a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's good. These guys are students of the game, man.
They know what's going on.
They know their Fincher and their Tarantino.
Yeah.
I thought the cops in the beginning when they're driving Luke to where they were taking him to jail, acting, not their strong suit.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll let it slide. They're like a whole 2 minutes of the show, but come on, man.
I mean, when the one cop confronts Luke in the alleyway, it's better.
It's better.
Yeah.
But the banter was a little...
Yeah. It was very cop banter.
And poorly delivered at that. I kind of wanted, Wayne to show up and be like, is this the best we can do? I know it's a small part, but can we get someone else? Can we get Chuck Heston in here or something?
Bring in Charlton Heston's corpse. Baby,
I'm sorry.
you're going to get the corpses.
Yeah, it's Charlton Heston's corpse. Still clutching a gun.
Yeah.
Anyway, this episode has... so Luke escapes, though. He breaks out of the chains, breaks out of the car, and goes on the run, and that cop who catches him, lets him go, says,
Because you knew him from Pops.
Knew him from Pops. I know you're doing the right thing. You better run. Run. And as I have in my notes here, run, Luke, run.
We also see Domingos getting a little ambitious.
Yeah, Dom makes a play.
People are like, why don't we just kill him?
What are you feeding him?
I got a gun in my room. I can go get it.
Unfortunately, no, he doesn't have him captured. But Dom decides he's gonna put on his big boy pants and he's gonna go make a play for the guns and everything. Now that Diamondback is weakened by the events of this episode.
Which is strange because Diamondback never really appears to be weakened.
Not really, no.
He's just kind of relocated.
Yeah.
He's in a warehouse now, and the warehouses are respectable.
He was in a warehouse before, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how exactly he was kind of weakened because his name got released. The cops were on to him. So he was on the run, I guess. So maybe that's why Dom decides now's the time, let's make the play. But doesn't end so well for Dom.
No, as we see later in the episode. But before we get to that, can we talk about the most enjoyable scene from this episode?
That being?
The Quickie Mart holdup.
Oh,
Yeah. Did you catch the Stan Lee cameo?
No.
Yes.
I missed it.
It's so quick.
Okay, that's why I missed it.
And I just happened to be looking at the right place at the right time. When Luke is looking at the two guys and they're like masking up and getting their guns ready to go into the Stop and Shop.
Yes.
There is a poster on the outside of a police officer, and it's clearly Stan Lee, and he's doing the Uncle Sam point and it says, "See a crime, report a crime."
Oh, I think I did catch that on the first watch, but I missed it this time. That's funny.
Oh,
hey,
Stan.
Stan's still going, man.
Shut up.
Hey, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Stan.
So, but yeah, this scene is just really great because it goes back to the root of why we love this show. The street level hero looking out for the little guy, so to speak.
To a degree.
And there's just a great cameo.
He didn't necessarily know he was going to go in and...
No, it was he's like, I don't have time for this. But yet, he still goes.
Sure.
He just walks in, he does his little tap on the head.
Yeah.
And it's great. And we've got a great cameo by Method Man.
Yeah.
Of the Boomtang Clan.
That's correct. And they switch hoodies.
They do. And, it's clearly, you see it a lot in football today. After a game, players exchanging jerseys.
Right.
It's just like a sign of respect.
Yeah.
It was just a really cool little scene.
And actually, that does lead to a bigger point in the episode.
Yes.
The hoodie kind of gets reclaimed and becomes a symbol.
Yeah.
So Method Man respects Luke for being a bulletproof black man who is on the run from the cops. And the cops are big time gunning for Luke. They want Luke bad.
Yeah.
And Method Man goes on the radio and the bulletproof
Drops some
bullet hold
bulletproof love.
The bullet hold hoodie becomes a thing.
A symbol.
People start wearing it in the city.
The people wear the bullet-riddled hoodie to show their support of Luke.
Yeah.
And it's just a really great sequence that happens. We have a little callback to 1990s MTV.
Little bit.
Sequence with Sway and I'm sorry, I don't know the female's DJ who was once on The Real World.
Remember Sway?
Remember Sway? Remember MTV in the 90s?
I do remember, actually.
I do. Headbangers Ball?
I saw a fascinating video that is if you think about what it became and then the band I'm about to tell you, it's mind-bending. I watched Primus doing... Jerry was a race car driver, and what's the name? Something Frank the Cat, Larry the Cat, something like that. I forgot, but it's pardon me, Primus fans. I'm messing up the title of the song. Primus, you know Primus, right? Very off the wall. Les Claypool, brilliant bass player, but the music is very off kilter. Primus at Spring Break, MTV Spring Break, 1992.
Yep.
Think about Spring Break.
Yep.
All I can think is, for whatever reason, all I can imagine at Spring Break is Pitbull live at Spring Break, pressing a button on his iPod and just people dancing in a pool, because that's all MTV, in the later days, and that's all it is. It's just, and that's all pop music is now. It's just, crap you can dance to. 1992, Primus.
Were they introduced by Pauly Shore?
There was no introduction. But, this band, this technically savvy band, everyone in that band is ridiculously talented. Yeah. Everyone. Laying down insane stuff at MTV Spring Break. It was so surreal. It's so surreal to see.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
These kids are here to party.
Back when...
Primus is blowing minds.
Yeah. Back when music videos were art forms.
Yeah.
Tell a complex story with a music video.
Anyway,
and I will say
the
best ones at doing that were Guns N' Roses. No competition whatsoever.
They spent the most money. I hope they were decent.
Well, want to make good art, you got to spend money.
Not necessarily, but
Remember how videos would premiere on like Fox after The Simpsons?
Michael Jackson ones, yeah.
Well, no, not only that, Metallica and Guns N' Roses too.
I don't know about Metallica, but Guns N' Roses I could see. Hey man,
It was
give it up
90s.
for the Tool videos though. Come on now.
Eh,
Yeah. Oh, stop you.
it's no Slash out in the middle of the desert, November rain.
Okay, moving on. So the hoodie's kind of reclaimed here.
Yeah.
I really dug that piece of this episode. It's
Yeah, it was a really great sequence starting with the Stop and Shop hold up, going to the radio show and them talking about it. A great just reflection of current social structure
yeah.
in areas like that.
Now Shades, remember Shades?
Mammy Shades.
He got arrested.
Yeah. It was a great scene with the inspector.
Yeah, he just wants his lawyer.
Lawyer.
Yeah. Then
First name Law, last name Year.
Then he pretends to get to crack.
He just crack.
I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you who did it. He goes by lawyer.
I love Shades. Shades.
That scene I liked. That was good.
Shades and Mariah.
He is
Big
cool
fans.
under pressure, man.
He is.
Mr. Cool under pressure.
And can we talk about the scene in the elevator?
Sure.
So I have here in my notes, zip tie Shades. See what I-
Your
see what
name
I
is
did
Zip.
there?
You should make it
See
a
what I did?
thing. You gimmick Zip.
I also have a note here. Little help.
Yeah, like-
two guys just kind of standing in the elevator, not doing anything while Zip's trying to
Strangle
You
him?
would think after like the first 30 seconds, you're like, okay, this guy's not getting it done.
Yeah,
It's
let's
just-
help him out.
But no, Shades gets guns, pops the two guys who weren't doing anything, and then
Take Zip on the roof.
Unzips Zip on top of the roof.
Yeah, Zip gets taken to the roof, and he divulges the location of Diamondback's. Who gave the order? Diamondback, and I think does he tell him where the warehouse is? I think so. He must.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. Oh,
No.
okay, but he does tell him that it was Diamondback's decision to kill him, and then Zip dies.
Zip gets one in the head.
Very, very bloody.
Yeah. Zip never knew where the warehouse was. The only reason Luke Cage knew where the warehouse was because he got that information from
Our friend Turk.
your friend Turk, not my friend. 'Cause he got Pop killed.
Hey, he didn't know it was going to happen, man.
Turk, shut up.
That's what he tells Luke too.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Yeah, Turk in the episode tossed in the dumpster.
Turk, by the way, knows his mythology, whereas Zip did not.
No,
Turk knew who Icarus was.
Turk also apparently knows his Jordans.
He does know his Jordans.
Bobby Fish said he got a line on some vintage Jordan. I believe they were the Jordan 5s.
I believe that's what they were. I don't know what those look like, but I assume they're hot.
Have you ever had a pair of Air Jordans?
No.
I had 2 pairs.
I wasn't a sneaker kid.
I wasn't a sneaker kid either, but I was like, this is what the cool kids are wearing? Okay.
Yeah. We did you have a starter jacket?
Yep.
Me too.
Yep,
I did
starter
have one
jacket.
of those. Junior high starter jacket.
I had a Bill starter jacket, and I had the complete ensemble, total bandwagon in it. Chicago Bulls. Remember, like the pinstripe starter baseball jerseys?
Yep.
I had that with the matching shorts and the hat. Chicago Bulls.
You. That's 90s as hell.
That's so 90s.
Man.
I think I got a picture with it somewhere too. It's yeah. I have nothing to say about it. It's there. It's the worst of everything you'd think it would be. But to be fair, in the picture, if memory serves right, I do have a Batman shirt on underneath it.
Well, he was pop culturally there too.
Well, it was 1989.
There you go.
So, the bat symbol was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes.
So, Mariah is indebted to Diamondback deeply now.
Yes. Mariah, this is one of the episodes where we kind of see Mariah going back and forth.
Yeah.
It seems in previous episodes that she was all in on embracing the criminal lifestyle, but now it seems like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. And at the end of the episode, we see she's firmly back in. But a little wavering here from Mariah in this episode.
A little bit.
Yep, Diamondback shows up wearing a very, very nice coat.
It's a nice red coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks comfortable. Looks warm.
Yeah. But so Diamondback drops off a bag full of money to
Seed
rebuild
money.
Harlem's Paradise.
Yeah.
Seed money. So Diamondback, we learned here that Diamondback is in the spotlight predominantly just to get Luke.
Yes.
And he says, like, after Luke's done, he's very content to go back in the shadows and just kind of pull the strings
Yeah.
from a distance.
Sure.
Smart.
Smart. He's a man on a mission. Now, Mariah and Shades, though. Shades goes to Mariah and in a show of good faith gives her the bottle of champagne that she hit Cottonmouth with. That not ultimately knocked him out the window. Had her prints on it. He gave it up to her. And she says, well, you'll have no leverage on me. And he says, that's a show of good faith.
Yeah, trust.
Do what's right. Show of trust. But he also has something else.
He's got the information about Carl Lucas.
He has the
aka
information.
Luke Cage.
The real information.
Ah, yes. This brings me to a second problem I have with this episode.
Go on.
In Pop Shop, where they're parlaying,
Yes.
you're Luke freaking Cage.
Yeah.
You're super strong and bulletproof.
Yeah.
Just take the file from them.
Yeah. He could have just did that.
Yeah. It's not like you're mugging someone. They're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Good point.
Take it. Give it to Misty. She's right there. She's right there.
Misty showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he probably didn't want to make any sudden moves because Misty was there and she could have got shot again.
Well, she takes it very well, so.
She apparently does take a gunshot very well.
She apparently has a healing factor.
Of course she does. If she can't have the arm, then give her the healing factor. So before we get to that, though, like as we said about Dom, he makes his big play. Big shootout happens.
Every time you say Dom, I think of Fast and Furious. So just call him Domingo.
I haven't seen any of those. So
It's unfortunate. They're
no,
fun.
I'm good. I'm all good over here.
Fun action movies.
I'll take my Vin Diesel in voice form. That's all I really need. I'm good. He's good at that. He's great at that. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't end up so good for Domingo.
Yeah. Luke shows up at the warehouse and sees
Long
that-
after the shootout.
Yeah.
Domingo, conveniently alive, though, still.
Kinda.
Just in time to give Luke relevant information.
He's alive and that blood is pumping to his brain for the moment.
And it's also...
Because he has been jacked up.
Yes, he's been pummeled.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient that he's still alive to tell Luke, that Diamondback is, coming for him. And it's also very convenient that Diamondback left a bomb in the building that beeps audibly so that Luke can hear it and knows how to get out of the building.
What's wrong with that?
I love plot convenience. If you're going to make a bomb, don't make it beep. Don't show him.
Well, maybe it doesn't have like a silent mode or something. Who cares?
It's just little cliches, that's all.
I think if you made a bomb that did make any noise, it would just be weird when you're watching the show. Like if that bomb wasn't beeping and not making any noise, you'd just be like, something doesn't feel right.
I would commend the villain for his ingenuity, for not alerting everyone to the presence of the bomb.
For some reason, talking about bomb got me thinking of Airplane 2, Sonny Bono.
Oh, God.
Took the third bomb to the right. It's at like a convenience stand in the airport. Another time.
Another time. So, warehouse goes boom.
Yep.
And Diamondback has some manner of glowing apparatus that we saw in a briefcase or the crate. We don't know what it is. Cut to Pops. Standoff for the files. Luke is trying to... Why make the truce at all? Just take damn files, knock Shades over the head.
Just ninja kick the damn rabbit.
Yeah, let Misty handle... Well, Misty's... No, she got better. Let her handle Mariah, and we're all good here. No, we're not all good here.
No, because grenade.
Grenade shows up. And by the way, everyone escapes unscathed from the grenade.
Yep. Looks like it was just a flashbang.
Okay. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of damage done.
Yeah.
And then
we get the pimp stormtrooper.
he kind of looks like a turtle.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm not sure about the costume here.
The costume is very off the page from the comics.
Maybe it's the fabric. Something about it just looks awkward.
Well, I mean, when you think about like the yellow underneath, if you think of the underbelly of a snake.
No, I get that, but the green.
No, I know what you're saying.
Something just looks off.
I like the costume. I like the suit. I like that it's tied into, that it's not just like thrown in there just because. It's tied in, that's Hammer Tech, and and they give a reason for him to have it. Would really like to see Hammer make an appearance in season 2.
Well, Sam Rockwell action?
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Have
It would be nice.
dancing and whatnot.
Yeah.
No, I like the suit, and this episode ends with the initial clash. Diamondback doesn't go around; he goes through.
Correct. And as we find out, the suit is bulletproof, and it's clearly got, as we've seen in glimpses with his little gauntlets that punch through stuff, it makes him super strong as well.
Yeah, just a great little Bobby Fish moment. I just got this place back together. Can't you two take this outside? And they're both like, no. And he's like, all right, damn, I was just asking.
And that is going to lead us into the conclusion of Luke Cage.
The conclusion.
One episode to go
of Luke Cage.
So as you said, put all of our pieces back on the board to line them up for our big final move. This episode definitely feels like we're back on track.
Yes. It feels very season 1, part 1.
Yes, a little bit. It still lacks the depth and the investment I had in the early episodes, but at least we're in familiar environments and we are moving towards a conclusion.
Yeah. Good episode. Eager to talk about the conclusion.
Well, we'll do that next week.
All right.
There you have it, sir.
So, dear listeners, again, we would love to hear from you. By all means.
Y'all are liking the posts on Facebook, so if you're liking it on Facebook, write in.
Let us know.
I know. We get the alerts.
Questions. You can do so at the following. You can follow us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/devilsdupod. You can email us at thedevilsdupod@gmail.com. And all this stuff can be found on our website, thedevilsdupodcast.com. Our episodes can be streamed from that website. They can also be downloaded from iTunes and Google Play.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any last thoughts?
No.
Anything else you want to piss on with depression?
No. I just I ask, and I because I like a good analysis. All I ask of our dear listeners is...
Here we go.
No. This is just a friendly request. All I'm asking is just think about... Don't just consume. Dissect. Think about what you're watching. Think about what you're getting into. What does it mean? Just put a little thought into it. You can still love it. I still love all this stuff. But just take it that little extra step. It makes for fun discussion, and you might learn something about yourself, too.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us. Court is adjourned.